team has only one more spot to bring back.
Get him healthy and
come.
We don't put a timeline on these things, though.
Did you just call him soft? Is that what you
I see that. Put words in my mouth.
So who do you think has been your most consistent person in coverage, punt and kickoff coverage this year? If you want to name a few, obviously.
Probably, Bethel and Duke Riley. I mean, those two guys have been consistent. We got the other guys that have been have had good games here or there. Cam Good is really coming on. Whenever we've had Van Ginkel, he's done a nice job, but he's, not had that much play time. But, the young players are growing and the veterans are playing like veterans.
I want to ask you about the growth that you've seen from Cam, and I know he started really well, then hit a little bit of low, then played a little bit better. And how would you evaluate where he is now that this is really his primary job?
Yeah, very happy with where he is and how he's grown. From a year ago to this year, from training camp through preseason, through the regular season, now we're into December. Really happy with where he is, and I think he's got a lot more upside to grow.
I just saw that the Commanders haven't had a kick return allowed this year. It's either been touchbacks or kicked out of bounds. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a couple of them are by choice. The opposition, a couple of them are, a yard or two deep in the end zone, and the team that they're playing has chosen not to bring it out. The fair catch rule, there's been a couple mishits that haven't been fielded. So, again, when you look at those numbers, everybody's got a different philosophy and a different plan. I think, you've seen certain teams really heavily using the fair catch rule, where they're, more than willing just to take the ball on the 25, where you've seen other teams being aggressive and bringing it out 4 or 5 yards deep. So that's just something we'll keep looking at. We'll worry about who we play that week, but they are trying to pound the football and hit touchbacks. I think there's maybe some opportunities there that maybe some people haven't taken, and we'll see what we get on Sunday.
There was a point of the game on Friday when they said there was going to be multiple personal fouls that would have put your kickoff at the plus 35, I believe, but it didn't wind up working out that way. I don't want to ask for your strategy there, but I'm curious, have you ever had a kickoff that far into opposing territory before? What would you want to do in that situation?
You don't want to ask me, but you're asking me. Yeah. Yes, have had it once with us being the kick team and been once with us being the return team. So there's, you have lots of options there.
What are these options? Because I'm curious. Do you split it to 35 or?
As they say, it's our ball in that case, and we can do whatever we choose. Just like if they're kicking, they can do whatever they choose.
might as well onside if you're up there 35, right?
That could be an option.
If you miss it,
Squib
what's
could
the
be an
big deal?
option. There's a lot of options.
Danny, what is the process for the active game day roster when you could have a glut like at running back where guys play special teams, they're needed from scrimmage? Do you get the final word? Does McDaniel get the final word? Do you make your case for certain guys? How does that work?
We have constant communication, with the coaching staff, with Mike and Chris. So it's an ongoing process week to week. There's a lot of things that go involved, in those discussions, and in play time and injuries, and making sure you're insured with certain spots, other spots you can't be insured. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but really good communication throughout the week, every week.
Yeah, there could be situational spots from scrimmage that.
Correct. Correct. And every team you're playing is different. Some guys are going to have heavy workloads some weeks and not heavy workloads on offense and defense, kicking games. So a lot of those discussions every week. And, fortunately, a good group of good communicators to get to work through that stuff on a weekly basis.
Is there time that you and Chris and Mike carve out every Friday for that discussion, or it just happens naturally?
There are certain times, but it really happens naturally throughout the week when certain things come up. So there are some designated times, but it's usually, by the time those times come, a lot of those decisions have already been made.
With Chris Brooks, obviously he had a heavy role on special teams. I know he's still in that window where he's just coming back, but how helpful can he be, especially with the loss of Savard?
Yeah, I think he'd be very helpful. We were really a little bit like we talked about with Cam Good. I put Brooksy in that same boat. Was really growing on a week-to-week basis and really doing good things. So, whenever his opportunity comes, I'm sure he'll be ready, and we'll use him when that opportunity comes.
And with Chase Claypool, I know he was getting a guy that was getting involved early in the process, and now that he's back from that knee injury, do you see that he could help you on that unit from a coverage standpoint?
Absolutely. You know, another guy that when he's deemed fit and he's able to go and he's activated, he's a guy that we'll find a role for because he's a good player.
High of 59 in Landover, Maryland on Sunday. That pleases us.
If that's what it is, we'll be very happy.
Because it's not 19. It could be. It's December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Relative.